Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I make peppermint bark. It is around the holidays right now. We're about 2 weeks away from Christmas, so I figured it'd be a good little holiday snack, and it's an excellent gift to give to friends and family. What I have here is, first you want to make sure you line a baking sheet with some parchment paper. I have some coconut oil here, 12 ounces of white chocolate melts, and 12 ounces of dark cocoa chocolate melts, and then I have some crushed peppermint here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I have about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil here, which is going to go for half in each one of them. So I'm going to put about half, which is a tablespoon of coconut oil, into this one, and that's just going to keep it a little bit creamy. And so I'm going to pop this into the microwave for probably about a minute or so, depending on how long it takes to melt all of it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I have both of my white chocolate and my regular chocolate fully melted. And I kind of messed up when I made this one, or melted my white chocolate first. So don't make the same mistake as me, and make sure you wait on the white chocolate, because I'm going to actually line my parchment paper with this chocolate and let it sit for about a half an hour so it can actually harden. So I'm going to go ahead, bring my paper over here so you can see, and I'm just going to line it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure it gets spread it out, and make it as thin or as thick as you want. I think I'm going to do, I think that's good. And I'm also going to make some shrimp and chicken enchiladas in a moment, so I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side and let it sit for about a half an hour, and then I'll come back, add the white chocolate and then the peppermints, and show you what it looks like when it's completely done. So while I have the bottom layer of my chocolate, or the chocolate portion of my peppermint bark, cooling in the refrigerator, I'm going to go ahead and start on my enchiladas. You're going to need some olive oil, some half and half or heavy cream, have some white wine, about 3 Roma tomatoes cut and diced. I have some Monterey Jack cheese, and then a Mexican blend. It's about 2 cups. I have some jalapenos here. It's about enough for like 2 small jalapenos. A mixture of some sea salt, pepper, some chili powder, cayenne pepper, and cumin, and some tortillas, onion, garlic, some chicken, and some shrimp. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and season my chicken. It might seem like a lot of seasoning, but keep in mind we're gonna add the shrimp to it maybe halfway through the cooking of the chicken. So go ahead and add all of it at once, and we're gonna mix it together. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna turn my pan on to about medium-high heat and add my olive oil. And don't worry about the measurement of olive oil. Just use maybe like a tablespoon, however much you think is necessary. And you could probably do this with your hands to make it go by faster. Make sure you wash your hands really well, or use a pair of gloves. Okay, so while that's heating up, I'm gonna grate my garlic. Actually, I'm gonna chop it. And just mince it as finely as you possibly can, just to get it. I'm going to transfer it into my pan. It does not matter if the garlic's not all the same size. It's all going to go to the same place. We just want that garlic flavor. Pretty much at this point, it's just going to release the flavor into the pan for maybe like a minute, and then I'll add my chicken. And I'm going to cook that for probably about 5 minutes, halfway through, and then I'll add my shrimp. And so I'll be back in just a moment, and I'll show you what it looks like. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my white wine. It's pretty much good at this point. The shrimp is pink, the chicken is fully cooked, the sauce looks amazing. I'm going to add some white wine to give it more flavor. It's going to thin up the sauce a little bit, but don't worry about that, because I have our heavy cream here that's going to thicken up the sauce and make it creamy, plus the cheese and everything. So I have my heat on high, so that way the wine can reduce the sauce by maybe like half, a little bit quickly. I'd probably give that about 2 minutes, but at this point you probably want to work a little more quickly, just because you don't want your shrimp to get tough and you don't want your chicken to get tough either. So give it about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes at the most, And then we'll go ahead and add the heavy cream, the vegetables, and then the cheese, and then we'll assemble the tortillas and we'll put it in the oven, and then we'll continue with the peppermint bark. All of the heavy cream at once. And make sure you don't drain your shrimp and chicken mixture. You want all of that sauce, you want all of that flavor, don't drain it. So it's still on a high heat. I just added the heavy cream. At this point, I'm gonna add everything else. I'm gonna add the tomatoes, the jalapenos, and the jalapenos are optional depending on how sensitive you are to spiciness. I'll add half of the cheese now, and make sure you reserve some on the side if you want to put some on top of your enchiladas before you put them into the oven. So just add a little bit at a time until the sauce thickens up. So you can see my sauce is thickening up quite fast. And if you're anything like me, you're probably going to taste your food any moment to make sure it has all the right or enough seasoning. Make sure you have enough salt in it before you assemble it into your tortillas. I'm just going to add the rest of the cheese. Pretty thick at this point. If you want it any thicker, feel free to add as much cheese as you like. You don't want it too thick and too dense. You want to be able to pour the sauce over the top of your tortilla or of your enchiladas before you put them in the oven. So you want a little bit of juice. You want a little bit of creaminess. Okay, so it should look something like this. I'm going to go ahead and get my tortillas ready, and I'm going to get my pan out so I can start assembling them, and then we'll put them together. So I've already started filling a couple of my tortillas. So basically I'm just taking my same spoon that I was stirring with, and I'm just taking maybe like a half spoonful, 2 of those, so I guess a full spoonful. Depending on how big your tortillas are, you just add according to that. So I have about this much in there. I'm going to roll those. I'm going to fit as many as I can on my 9x5 pan, glass pan. Just add them like that. Add as many as you possibly can to the pan, and then reserve the sauce in here, because when you fill as many as you can, you're going to pour the sauce over top of it, sprinkle some cheese on top of that, and then from there we'll put it in the oven. And then my chocolate is set, completely set. I had it in the refrigerator for about 15-20 minutes and it's set. So I have my white chocolate. I'm going to take out of the microwave, and then we'll line it on top of the chocolate, and then we'll be ready for the peppermint. So, all right, so I'm on my last one. So if you have a bigger pan, use a bigger pan. That's about the biggest one I had available. So right on top, make sure when you roll them, you're gonna put them seam side down, so that way nothing opens up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of my mixture over top, even the shrimp, the chicken, everything, the whole thing, since I have so much left over. And I've set aside some Mexican cheese here, so I'm just gonna add as much as I want to my liking. Keep in mind the sauce is really cheesy and creamy. If you're a cheese lover like me, then go ahead and just add as much as you want. I'm gonna top it off like this. My oven has been going on 350 for a little bit, so I'm going to add this to my oven, and it's probably going to be in there for about 20 minutes. I'm going to check on it every now and then. When the top is melted, go ahead and take it out, and you'll be ready to serve it. Okay, so my enchiladas were in the oven for about 20 minutes, and this is how they look. Perfectly cheesy, perfectly creamy. So I'm going to cut a couple of these out and show you guys what they look like. I'm going to do my best to keep them intact as much as possible, but if I don't be mad at me, as long as they're good. They look amazing. So there's a little piece of shrimp. And I have some sour cream here that I'm going to go ahead and add to mine. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on the inside. The shrimp, tomatoes, the jalapenos on top, you have everything. So let me know how you like it or if you recreate it and make it your own. And I will be right back with my peppermint bark. It's still setting, so probably about 10 more minutes and I'll show you what that looks like. So I have my chocolate all set here. It is completely solidified. I have my white chocolate here, which I reheated up a little bit just to make sure it keeps that creamy texture and it doesn't set in this bowl. So what I'm going to do now, it is a little warm still, so don't be worried if it may melt the chocolate a little bit. It's okay. I'm going to add this on, and the bowl is really hot, so be careful. Okay. And I'm just going to spread that evenly the same way I did the chocolate. And I think my chocolate's melting a little bit, but that is okay. Just keep spreading. It's bound to do it. And like I said, you can package these up when they're set. Give them as a gift for Christmas to your family if you don't want to buy presents. It'll be just like you bought it at the store, only you made it at home. So now that that's on top, add as much peppermint as you like. You're literally just going to sprinkle it all over the top. I love peppermint, so mine will probably be covered in peppermint. All right, I think that's enough. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna repeat the same step, let that set, maybe like about 20 minutes. Just keep it in the refrigerator until it's completely set. And then when it's done, I'll just go over with you how I take it off the parchment paper, break it up, and then I'll just show you the finished product for my peppermint bark and for my enchiladas. They should be done around the same time, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have my peppermint bark that's been completely set. And so the only thing you're gonna need to do, which should look like that, I tried to break it up with my hands, but because I actually put it in the freezer for just a few minutes so that I could set a lot faster, it's a little more solidified than I would prefer it to, so I can't really cut it with my hands. So really quickly, I'm just gonna show you guys. So just cut them up, and you could either do shapes, or I'm literally just cutting them corner by corner, no particular way. And they're pretty much gonna look like this. It's a little thick, but you know, just to your preference, just spread it out as much as you like when you originally set them or put it together. So yeah, I'm gonna finish cutting up the rest of this, and I'll probably package them, give them away to family, friends, and they are amazing. They're so creamy. The white chocolate and the chocolate together are a perfect combination, so, and the peppermint too. So I'll let you guys know what I used, and I'll put the recipe in the description. I'll let you guys know where to find it. And that's it. That's my enchiladas and my peppermint bark. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.